This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're taking a look at the Pioneer Matter Bifold, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. If you find this video helpful, make sure you subscribe so we can continue making content like this to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. So in typical Pioneer fashion, there are a couple different materials to work with here. This is the baby ballistic version, which I really dig. It's like, it's ballistic nylon, but it's a little bit lighter and not as bulky. I mean, it's still bulky and kind of heavy, but not as heavy or hard to deal with as maybe some ballistic nylon that you've dealt with in the past. So really dig this material. But there's also 10XD, which is a ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, and a 3XD, which is 3-ply nylon. So you can get one that really, fits what you need from a travel wallet, or even if this is just an EDC type wallet. So with the baby ballistic, at least I can't speak specifically for the other ones when it comes to this one takes a little while to break in. And even if like you were like, oh, I need to get this card out, I haven't gotten out in a while, and you're like that, it can kind of like, as you can see, it doesn't automatically go back. I'm not sure how well you can see that way. Just takes a little while to break in, and especially if you don't have as heavy of stuff on one side and you put the heavier side here, it just kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't close all the way. And that's me being very nitpicky. Typically this is going to be, in your pocket, and it should be in your pocket, not sitting out on a table somewhere. And as you can see, once you put some pressure there, it goes down, but it does take a little while to break in. So if you've just gotten this wallet and you're like, it's not closing all the way, give it time, put it in your pocket a while, and it will be fine. So this is very sleek, as you can see on the outside here. There's no logos or anything like that, just durable materials. Flip it over to the inside, we do have a small Pioneer Carry logo there. Typical from them, just a small, not really in-your-face logo on the inside. Just looks very sleek. I like the entire minimalist look of this wallet. It kind of looks like a classic billfold, but for like a modern traveler who maybe isn't bringing as much cash or anything like that. And speaking of that, moving to the inside, as you can see, there is no dedicated place for cash here. Typically you think, oh, this is going to open up and I'll be able to put cash there, but that does not exist here. So this obviously saves some space and some weight on this wallet. But if you're someone who loves to bring cash and you want to have quick access to it, or you're going to multiple countries and you're like have 4 different currencies and you want to be able to like kind of look at it all, you can't do that here. You have to fold it up and put it inside of a pocket, and then you got to pop it open and be like, okay, which currency am I looking for? But the 2 sides here are identical. We have a top access and then a side access. For me, I like to put quick access cards and my cash retrospectively in each of, not retrospectively, you know what I'm trying to say, in the 2 slots here, because those are the things you're going to need. So like my ID, my card I'm using all the time is going to go in this one, and then the cash that I'm going to be using is going to go in this one, and then things I don't need so often like an insurance card and stuff like that are going to go inside of here. So depending on the thickness of the cards, I was able to fit about 15 cards inside of here. But if you have cash or you have thicker cards, you have some of those metal credit cards, like one of my credit cards is metal, you aren't able to fit as much. So it depends on what you have, but you can't fit a ton of gear in here. But this is for a minimalistic traveler anyways. So it just really depends how you use your gear, but this is what you're able to fit inside of here. You could also, an idea that I had and I tried to implement, but because I'm not traveling right now, it didn't work so well. You can put, if you have multiple currencies, you can put the currencies for the country you're not currently in one of the side pockets, and just put the currency you're using currently in here. But again, just depends where you're going, what you're doing, and how you use a wallet. So when it comes to packability, you can see that this thing is pretty small. It's kind of a standard billfold size. Obviously, this is a bifold, cut out the 2 L's there, but it fits in my palm pretty comfortably, and it's fit in every pocket I've tried to fit it in pretty easily. But if you have smaller pockets, you might struggle to get it in a little bit, but it's not, overly huge. To get down to, the actual measurements, it is 82 millimeters by 98 millimeters. That is 3.22 by 3.58 inches when it's closed. Sorry, just making sure I get it right looking at my notes there. And then when you pop it open, it's 164 by 98 millimeters, which is 6.46 by 3.585 inches. So again, not overly huge. Even when you open it up, it's not a huge wallet, but I mean, does that really matter? This is the size that you really care about, and it's going to be a different thickness depending on how much you have stowed in there, but it's 34 grams, which is 1.1993 ounces, which isn't overly heavy, but that Baby Ballistic does offer that durability, which I think is worth maybe a little bit of extra weight. So if you're familiar with Pioneer and you think that this thing looks very familiar, you might be thinking of the Altitude, which is the Altitude Bifold, whereas this is the Matter Bifold. So this is a classic billfold, and as you can see, it is a little bit bigger on both ends, both width and height there. Sorry about that. And it does weigh a little bit more. So let me make sure I get this right. This one here is 48 grams compared to the 34 grams of its younger sibling here. But the biggest difference between these two is that we have an actual place to put money here. So, well, not money, cash. So you can take your cash out of there, pop it open flat, and then it's going to fit inside of here. So if you are someone who carries a lot of cash, or you want to have a specific place to put your cash, the Altitude here might make more sense for you. But you are, it is a little bit heavier, it's a little bit bigger. This one, although the size is, very, like, the difference between is very small, I feel like I can comfortably hold this one in my palm. Whereas with the Altitude here, it's just a little bit too big for me personally. Obviously, like, your hand size will determine whether or not it's comfortable for you. But having that space to put cash is especially helpful if you are carrying multiple currencies, or you just like to have a lot of cash with you. The rest of the layout is identical. So it really comes down to whether you want that space for cash, and also whether you care about a little bit bigger wallet and a little bit heavier wallet. But other than that, they're very comparable. So there you have it, the Pioneer Matter Bifold. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.